Hello everyone, my name is Vive and I'm a Furious Unicorn's coach Riot. So this is a game against Stomperland on Rialto with Stomperland on the blue team and Furious Unicorns on the red team. So let's take a look at the compositions here. So so right here we can see from Stomperland their whole composition is all about winning the frontline duel because with these three heroes, let us use a better one. These three heroes right here, and with the discords from the Zenyatta and a damage boost when needed, all the resources from Stomp are put towards the front line. Sunset can add to both. He can either put shots on his shield, which is negligible, or he could deal with the DPSs or get really good angles. So he's more like a flex role in this comp. But the unicorns almost have the same lineup, but except we have this guy over here, the Pharaoh. So here's the rock. Here's the interesting part comes in the rock paper scissors part. So him versus the Brigida. That is a good. This Pharaoh will counter all these heroes very easily, very easily. But he is hard countered by this guy right here. This guy hard counters him. So, knowing this, what can be done about this? We have the other DPS slot, Vic 7. So what he could do is either is to put all his focus, all his resources towards taking him out. If he takes him out, this opens up eons on the Pharah to do work on Stomperland because none of the other five heroes, maybe except for Sensek, none of the other five heroes cannot deal with the Pharah. Sure, maybe the Zenyatta can if he hit nutty shots, but that's unlikely at this elo. So, so the game plan for unicorns right there is to enable Pharah by taking out Sensek. This and the only way they can do that is through the other DPS Vic taking him out. So the whole plan revolves around these two widows here. This is going to dictate whether the comp is successful or not. So let's see what happens.
You guys should go up top right, maybe.
Alright, let's go top right.
Huh?
Just go top right. Just fall
Got
from
it.
there, see what's gonna happen.
Watch for Widow.
I don't see them. I don't see them. I don't see them.
So I'm assuming these guys right here, the Brigida, the Reinhardt, they're gonna be using their third person perspectives and trying to scout you guys out, like hugging a corner and using the third person perspective when they hold up the shields. So they're trying to get information on you guys by assessing what comp you guys are going to be running, which is smart by them.
I don't see them. I don't see them.
Watch out for right side, maybe. And also watch out for Lucio.
They're
in the room.
They're right now middle.
Buddhist.
Okay, so let's see how they can engage this because again, so let's take a look at the sustain from both sides. You have Luna on the Mercy, or the Decant on the Zen, right there is on the Brigida. And on our team, let's take a different color. We have Fludios and Exceed. So obviously basic math. The Sopalhan has more sustain than the Furious Unicorns here. So what does this mean? This means if the fight is more brawly, more aggression, the Stomperland are gonna be are gonna have the advantage because they can tank more hits. If you guys take a more aggressive style, they're gonna outsustain you, and eventually you're gonna get brawled out. So so you guys have to rely on a DPS to get a pick and take it slowly. Try try to use fire to win a shield war as well. Yes, that's also important.
Where is she?
She's at
Okay, personal bubbles used. I want you to communicate your bubbles because Leo is gonna have a rough time against Brigida, the Zarya, the Reinhardt off Stumble line. So your bubble is his only escape. It's his only source of appeal, and it's a survival tool basically. So you need to communicate when do you have bubble, when do you not, and always keep on relaying that information because right now he's at a disadvantage coming against the Reinhardt of Stomple line.
He's actually looking downside mid. Watch out.
Come
Getting
on.
hit really hard.
See, exactly, he's getting hit really hard because Stomple line is free to be aggressive as much as they want.
I have no shield basically. High for
Sorry,
a second.
interpersonal. Alright, I got bubble.
Sorry, Discord.
You got
Sorry,
bubble,
there,
good.
Push up.
He used the bubble right here. So once you use the bubble, you have to let him know. Okay, bubble is being used. Your bubble's on no cooldown for 8 seconds. So you cannot be
charge.
aggressive
Let's go.
again.
Alright, again on Mercy.
Nice.
Huge pick. Oof, sorry. Huge pick by Vic 7. So 6v5 in favor of unicorns. So like the unicorns have the luxury of being more aggressive and taking this fight because Stomperland has lost a source of sustain. So if I was a short caller of the unicorns at this moment, I would be telling them to go forward and take this fight.
Widow's still right side.
Bubble in 2.
Okay.
Leo gets melted. Let's see why he gets melted. So at this point, when Vic 7 takes a Loon XCL, everybody on unicorns are good to go. Everybody on unicorns are good to go. So in a split second, Leo gets taken out. Let's see why.
Widow's still right
Gets a stun.
side.
The fire strike. I'm assuming the widow headshot. And Zarya damage and did Discord probably on Leo. So that was a good focus fire from Stomper Land. So what could have said that? The bubble from Rico would have been so vital here. But it was on cooldown. So I don't know if that information was relayed.
Bubble in 2.
Okay.
It just got relayed, but it was too late. So that was unfortunate.
Here probably. Yeah. I got fucking boot.
So since this bubble is off cooldown, you could either like plan a risky res and bubble fluty O's of the unicorns and get a res off, like a cheeky res. Like you have bubble, you have the resources for it. And if you get a res off, that's gonna be huge. But again, that requires a little bit of forethought.
We might need an Ana to cancel all the heals.
To cancel all that heals, also give you more sustain give you more of a sustain against you guys, so you guys can be more aggressive as well. And Anna is not a bad pick here.
I guess we'll try real quick if you want me to.
That's okay. You click on targets, guys. I still think they don't have a mercy.
Good call.
Yeah, I'll.
They
go.
have earth shatters, so
Look, so they opted
Yeah,
not
it's
to
sitting on the
commit to
right
this
side
fight,
card.
which is a 50-50 call. Like 5v5, it's up, but again, that's up to you guys. But yeah,
We're still on right side cart. We're good on.
yeah.
Okay,
they're-
Discord.
where is the widow? Where is the widow right now. The Widow's on a huge flank right here. Eons is basically free. Eon's not going to contest it if the Widow is taking this huge flank. So he has free reign right now to pummel shots in. So that's an interesting flank from Sensik. Where
He is. Try to save me. Try to save me. Shadow Wing.
Forget low.
okay, huge hammer. But is the team prepared to follow up? This guy's ready. He is ready. You're looking at the general direction, but I do not see the Widow here. I do not see the Zen. I see the beam from the Mercy, and I don't know where Eons is. So it does not look like the team was ready for the shadow at all.
What is behind us? What is behind us? What is behind us?
Widow's behind us. Okay. Now, Square, is anybody reacting to the call right now? I don't think so.
Just keep pushing, keep
Alright,
pushing.
follow,
Behind,
follow,
behind.
damage.
Correct. No.
Okay, Eons is not chasing the Widow. Where was Eons earlier?
Shadow Wing.
Forget low.
What is behind us? What is behind us?
No,
What is
no,
behind us? Keep pushing, keep
Alright,
pushing. What is
follow,
behind?
follow,
What is behind?
damage.
Okay, so while it's good, he's dueling the Widow 1v1 here. I think he would be more beneficial laying shots into here because and have somebody else take care of the Widow. I don't like which I'm looking for Vic 7 to do that because if all his resources from Eons is invested into this Widowmaker right here, the the frontline war for the unicorns is going to be lost. You need Eons on the front line, pummeling shots from the air into Technician, into Riderus, into Salty Dog, and into the backline if possible. Dueling this Widow is a win for Stomp on Land. Because frontline, Stomp on Land are going to take it easily. So, yep.
Correct. No.
I blocked it.
I'm
Valky.
done.
Okay, walking. Eons takes care of Sensik. That is good. Now it's time to turn up the pressure. Your big win condition right now is met. Sensik is down. So maybe the short call has to say push in. Like this is the time to press W. Okay, grab comes out.
Can't do anything
Alright,
about
no
that.
Zen.
Okay, push up, push up.
Push up.
Push up, push up. Yeah, we got.
Yep, Leo's making the right call here. Push up. Like he lost his Zen, they lost Sensik. Again, Sensik, one of the big key factors that's preventing unicorns from doing work. So I'm surprised the unicorns are backing up here and not committing to this fight.
We're up in numbers. Try and save me.
I got you.
Yep.
So Eons is in the backline right now. Vic also is kind of above the card. I don't know. That's an interesting angle.
It's just sorry.
I trans.
It's just you keep.
No.
Eons elected to go into this room, trying to kill the Mercy. But that gets him killed because this Pharaoh cannot engage in closed spaces. Closed spaces are the enemies of Pharaohs. Mercy did a good job hiding there, but I believe Eons got greedy, wanted to kill so bad, and chased her down, making Riderus, making these guys right here, putting himself in the range of these three guys. So he's gonna get killed.
No.
Probably save it. No,
I know, I'm
don't
saying
use
I have
it.
it. I'm saying I have
Can't
it.
see you
Push
over
up, push
there.
up. Yep, I'm going for the Brigida.
So what I'm feeling is a disconnect from the DPS's the back and the tank line. Like no space is being created for Eons. No frontline pressure. And Leo and the tank line were back here. The DPSs were here and here. So when this is happening, all of Stomperland can invest resources into taking the DPS out, which it did when it took out Eons. After they do that, now they can focus on you, on the Unicorn. So ideally the frontline battle and the DPS flanks should be happening at the same time. Like, imagine if Eons was in the air right now. Like, don't let's ignore the fact he just died. But if he's in the air right now, like Stomp on Land cannot do anything about it because they have to think about these guys right here. He has to think about the fire in the air. You have to think about Vic 7 on this perch. So again, bad timing from the DPS, but maybe that's a sense of disconnect, basically.
And the
Clear the
runway.
room and I can res him. I can't.
Discord.
Yeah, nice pick.
Sensec takes out Leo. So I think Flutie mentioned that he was going to go for res. As soon as that call is being made, you cannot be aggressive. You you have to lay back. You have to recognize that you're not gonna have heals for as long as the animation for the res is going on. Which I think it's like a second or two. So a second or two is like short time. Like it's enough time to get a pick. So be careful about that.
So Discord, right? So
I
Discord.
can give you bubble to rest, Flutie.
Wow. Okay, so this is a widow mark. It was going up in the air, so I'm assuming Flutie was around here. So that was a huge shot from Sensec right here.
Widow.
I'm down now. Be careful.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We should be able to take.
So right now the Sensec is not being shut down. But unfortunately, the defensive widow on Rialto is so powerful because you have these positions on Rialto where the Widowmaker sitting on one spot, example here, can have multiple sightlines on different areas. You can have a sightline through here, you can have a sightline through here, or if you elect to sit here, example, if you elect to sit here, you could have a sightline through here, you could also have a sightline through here, or maybe if you sit through here, you can have all the same three sightlines, including here. If somebody takes a flank, you can notice that flank too. So the Widowmaker on Rialto is so powerful, and if you're the attacking Widow, if you're example sitting here, you can only look through one sightline. Maybe notice who's flanking around you, but that's about it. Or you have to go through here, which puts you in enemy territory. You know, they can like send someone to get you, and Widow can easily take a battle against you if she's right here, or right here, or wherever she is. So it's hard for the attacking Widow to upstage the defensive Widow. Basically, he has to put more risk to get reward by killing him. So
Take advantage of this.
Mr. Widow.
Gosh,
I mean, I
Rest
took
widow.
no, there isn't.
Rest.
hey, that's me.
Okay, do you see the
So one thing I'm noticing about this team is I'm not hearing talk about information. Like I'm not hearing what ultimates do they have. I'm not hearing the widow positioning, the widow flanking. I don't see that. Uh, I don't hear it. I'm sorry. And these are some things that have to be talked about every single mid fight, like every single time you have downtime. So also no thought about what alts are being planned, like what else the unicorns have, and how are we going to use them. So this is also what I'm noticing from the unicorns. So
Widow right now.
They have-
Ready?
Yeah.
Watch out.
They're all left side right now.
Yep.
was
Mercy's
it
out.
Back,
Brig is-
like
Brig is on.
inside the choke.
I'm gonna.
Bring coming up. Just
Gregor, do you have your
We need
bubble?
a no. Alright, got it now.
not good? Asking for the bubbles.
big guard.
Oh shit.
Commits a
Okay,
charge.
her down.
Our riders coming after me down hallways.
No bubble.
I'm down.
Down.
That was an unfortunate shot from unfortunate kill.
Oh shit.
Who Riders elects to go here to kill Vic 7.
Okay, lower her down.
Our riders coming after
Riders
me down
is gonna-
hallways.
No bubble.
unfortunate it's not being reacted upon. Like this call right here. If you're making a call, there must be action towards it. And imagine these all turn towards the Brigida of Stompaland that's coming to hunt down Widowmaker. That's a free pick right here. Like this Brigida has invested this duel and sacrificed the positioning. So if all of you guys elected to go here and take out the Brigida, that's an easy pick and that's give you numbers. But unfortunately right now Fludio got taken out by Sensik.
I'm down.
Down.
We have.
It's Earth Shatter. You could probably use Barrage.
Right now is playing Grand Pharaoh, but I don't blame him because the threat to Sensik is too high.
Ryan's really low. Ryan's really low.
Look at him right here. He's just free over here. Like he's nowhere near this team. But maybe that's a good thing because it makes the front line more even. So,
I need the.
but he gets back on the back line here. This guy was left unchecked. Vix, I don't know what happened to Vix 7. I don't think he was killed. I think he backed off. The call must have been made from Vix 7 or somebody. Because this Brigida, not letting this Brigida live is a huge mistake.
Widow down.
Alright.
Right
Gents,
then. Bring it on me.
behind
Bring it on
us.
me. Bring it on.
Coming back.
You could probably use Graviton if you
Okay.
need to. Watch how they're.
So I'm not seeing any switches from unicorns. Like Setsik is carrying too much value in this composition, and I don't believe Vic 7 is having any success against taking him out because yes, he might take him out a couple of times, but Sensik by then has already done havoc on the team. So assuming so you have two options from unicorns. You either try to force him out of the game by pressuring him even more than the widow. How can you do that? So you can either have him switch maybe to a Sombra or to a Tracer, to a Genji, possibly a Doomfist, but I'm not really sure because because you have to take a long flank as Doomfist. If a Widow sees the Doomfist coming, the Doomfist hitbox is too huge. So invest a flanker. Use the flanker to harass Sensik, basically, and make the support line of Stomp Land Luna to go here to invest resources. Excuse me. You invest resources not in the front line, not in the front line, but into keeping alive. So then easing up pressure on the front line. So if you go Tracer, if you go Somber, you go Genji. Your main job is to pressure him, pressure the Widow of Sensik, and try to shut him down or make his life unbearable. Second thing, you give up on the idea that you give up on killing Sensik, and but try to you go on killing Sensik and invest more resources into winning the frontline war. Like, what good can a Widowmaker do if his team is dead? So how can we do that? You could either elect to change the Pharah. You could tell Vic 7 also to swap off, since he's not getting a lot of value with the Widowmaker as of this moment, and have them go DPSs that are more frontliney. Examples include Brigida. Examples include Junk. Examples include Hanzo. Hanzo can do. Oh, that's a wrong spelling, but you get what I'm saying. Hanzo does the best of both worlds. Like, he can apply frontline pressure with a shield and even contest the Widowmaker and peak the Widowmaker, at least make the Widowmaker think about Hanzo. So right now, one of those two things has to happen depending on the hero pools, and switches has to be made accordingly, either right now or like a minute ago.
I think I
Ross,
know Mercy.
reset.
Where's Widow? I see her.
Back
He
up,
was
back
gonna
up,
get
back.
me, so I just jumped.
I think we really needed Anna for real.
I'm coming now.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't switch quick enough. I was trying to keep trance.
We don't have any counter for their grab, just to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
Mhm.
need
We
this
need to go
now.
left side right now.
Okay, so
We need to be more aggressive, I
Their
think.
Yes, we need
Widow.
be mo- so with your earlier comp, you could not be aggressive because, again, mentioned earlier, they are more sustained than the unicorns. But right now, you have the luxury to be aggressive. If this man right here lands his anti-nades on the backline, on these three guys right here. So knowing this, you could actually take a risk here. This is maybe a wild idea. You could actually have the Ana go through here, maybe, and get here, throw a nade here, get out, and help the team and tell the team to get more aggressive. It's a high risk, but the reward might be huge. So
to be
Who's-
really
I don't know where the
aggressive
Widow
on
is.
ultimates.
Is she
You
in
need to go
courtyard?
left side. Yeah, I see in courtyard.
also one more thing that Ana can do is anti the grab from Draco. This guy's grab will be huge, and you anti the grab and basically nullifying Order Decamp's Transcendence. Also, the unicorns have to ult really early, because these two people can have ultimates that can wipe you out, and you have nothing to defend against that. So the only way you can win is to grab really early, combo, use the nade really early, like this. So let's see what happens here.
Trying to charge.
They all elected to brawl into this small room. which again, it's playing into Stompland's hands because this is a brawl character, brawl character, brawl character. Discords are powerful, damage boost is powerful. Brawl, brawl, cannot brawl. You again mentioned earlier, Farah does not want to be in this area. Excuse me. And and you need Exceed right here to land a huge anti. So numbers wise, if the battle's being taken here, Stompland are gonna take it.
It's
Okay.
right, it's right.
Uses the anti early. So this is a result of just throwing in ults without and plan. So he throws a nade early, but that nade could have been saved for the grab right here, and and for the transcendence that's about to come in. And Eon's on the Pharah. I don't know where he is right now, but it does not look like he's in a position to barrage the grab to follow up on the grab. So I believe the unicorns are not prepared for this grab.
Both grabbed.
He's coming in now. Oh, he comes in now.
And
Gets Luna, but the damage is already done. Huge picks, huge picks, huge picks. It's a lost fight. So the barrage was too late. So
that here.
I
40
can't do
seconds
it.
payload.
Keep dark.
What is where are we?
again, not much switches from unicorns.
Y'all
Yep.
died?
Nobody touch card.
I'm almost there to go.
Okay, maybe the barrage was okay because it was last fight, like virtually last fight.
Bubble.
And he had to go for the big play.
Yep, that.
Running Ryan's area. I think we need to dive.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan, no. Ryan's one.
Right.
I'm not
Just a
there.
card. What is
What?
my card?
Yeah, she got healed. Damn.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
let's reconsider our strategy here. Because we have to respect the way. We also not making space
Well, respecting the widow too much kind of
for our widow.
Cost
So
you.
I'd say like
you need to
I got her a
annihilate that
couple
widow.
times, it's-
Don't respect it. Annihilate that
staying.
widow.
It wasn't Vic, honestly. It was just
no,
like,
it's not Vic. It's not Vic. It's just that we couldn't push in on it.
I couldn't really make anything happen.
So I like
that was what I was noticing too. He once was just scared too much of the widow, and the widow was actually hitting him. So probably we should have
I
probably.
mean, the
should've
widow
talked
was
there.
free in the.
so I like the calls of searches being made. Unfortunately, this should have been happening during the round. Like if this was being noticed, this should have the call should have been made like really early, and the switches should have been made accordingly. I'm looking for the DPSs to switch in case things don't work out in any scenario because the DPSs right now are in the best state in my opinion. Like almost most DPSs are decently viable, except Symmetra, except Tor, but you basically can pick a rock paper scissors game by looking at their comp, and again calls have to be made on the fly.
In the back, and it's hard to
Yeah.
get shots because that alleyways. Shots there.
what if we did double sniper dive?
We're going double sniper dive on Rialto.
It's really
Could work.
susceptible, but let's try it.
No, what do you want to do?
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Okay, so
No, what?
It's really
Could work.
susceptible,
I think it's a
but
bad
let's try
idea.
it.
No, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I just don't think we can do the fair.
Okay. Okay, so I think this is a good part to tell why is dive on Rialto defense a bad idea. So Rialto's strength on this point for a defending side on this point is this choke. This choke for the attacking team is the hardest to get through. A lot of teams full hold because of this choke. This choke is ridiculously hard, and the only composition that can take advantage of this choke is a death ball, like as a brawly death ball. If a dive team plays in this area, this little alleyway, the dive team is gonna get annihilated by the death ball team, as Yamin gonna be running death ball. So, and the only part where dive is actually like relatively open, like where you can actually have open space and you can dive into, is this part. Is this part right here. So, which means you have to let the payload move a little bit underneath here, a little bit through here. I mean, mm, let's take a different color for the payload. So this is your diveable area. This is your open space for the dive team, and so knowing this, you have to let the payload through the alleyway, through here, and through this area. And unfortunately for your team, you guys got held here, and the payload is here. So the payload is here, and you guys are diving, and so because the payload is here, you are being forced to engage very early in this alleyway. So what this means is the dive team is gonna have a bad engage. Now the dive team is gonna be put in has to take a fight that is unfavorable to them. So the better pick, in my opinion, is a death ball. Maybe even a Brigida death ball. Invest again. Hold this alleyway right here.
What do you play, Jans?
Anything?
Oh yeah, I think we actually have to go. We're gonna be running on support. So
Mm-hmm.
I really think the Ana.
Yeah.
Do you want a Lucio?
I mean, we need a defensive ult, so
Okay, let's double
This
sniper
is not that far.
dive
No.
kind of contradictory. These two guys will lack the dive tanks will lack the additional damage. Will lack damage against this comp because even though this Ana is diveable, the nade is going to be powerful. She's gonna nade herself, and Luna will invest resources into keeping Audit alive, and with the sped up heals, she can easily do that. So they are missing damage when Leo and Draco are gonna dive in. So I would keep the Widow, but I would suggest the other DPS to go more divey DPS like a Tracer, Genji, Sombra, Doomfist, whatever, to at least assist your tanks in.
We're gonna do better. We're gonna do better.
Yeah, check out. Yeah, it's only first game.
Because this is start on that middle building, or do you want to start on this back building?
the thing is, I don't want to be too aggressive. We just need to hold this corner. There's no need. Like if we push too
You want to hold this corner, but this is a bad place for you to dive into. So
far, we get paid.
this is going to be really hard.
True.
You guys cool if I take like a quick peek on the left? See if I can get somebody?
I gotta do with a couple medic darts.
I'll be able to repeal if they start. Coming.
Yeah,
Interesting.
XCC be
Wrecking
very
ball
vocal
pick.
if
Fuck, they
they're
got a Sombra?
close, yeah.
Oh.
Heal Vic, and
Genji Sombra.
Oh, that was actually really cool. So the wrecking ball Just spread in really fast, got top speed, swung around just to take a quick peek at the composition and get back real fast. Again, that's really smart from Stop Online.
Okay, watch out. Try shooting around just in case. See, is there Sombra?
Last.
Okay.
On a.
I'm actually gonna. Okay, I'm
Huge,
actually gonna put a
huge
couple
pick from Eons on
a
Riders.
little bit,
Right.
so they don't get too
They're
much.
on us on the through the hallway.
Ryan, do you
Good anti. So let's see how Salty Dog dies. How did Unicorns get the huge pick on Salty Dog?
So they don't get too
They're
much.
on us on the through the hallway.
So Eons is laying shots into him. Anti comes in. Huge picks. Good stuff from the healer and Eons.
Okay.
Ryan, do you
Push up, push up, push
So
up.
now
push
it's
up, get
cleanup
Zarya,
time.
get Zarya.
Monitor?
Get
I know,
Mo-
Mercy.
Mercy's free. Mercy's free.
Cleanup time.
Sombra
You get
behind.
Great.
He's on his kill.
Get back.
Back up.
Genji's respawned.
Do you know where this Sombra is right now?
So if he lands anti hits all the time, it's gonna make these guys' job infinitely easier. Like anti-ing the Ana, for example, or anti-ing any tanks after you use cooldowns. That's gonna be huge.
Where are they somewhere?
Tank should be high ground. Yep.
Dive, just tell me.
They have a widow.
Wait,
God damn it,
watch out,
dang
Vince.
it. Oh, Diva's on me.
Over here.
Good peels from Draco.
I'm gonna look for.
See, right now, Leo is being forced to play Winston hard. You don't want to be dueling the Reinhardt face to face as a Winston. But he has. And I don't know why he dropped. Did he. What did you guys set up on the low ground? If so, that's a bad idea. Again, you don't want to be in their face at all as a dive team.
Go left side.
Zoning ult is huge. This ult right here is huge. This has split up these top lands team into two halves. One half is here, and let's give it a different color. One half is here. So I think I see two silhouettes from. Okay. Let's use a different color for the silhouettes. So one team is first half is here, second half is here. The first team's silhouettes is here. Like the split up team's silhouette is here. I think this is a Genji, and maybe one more. And I think this is a beefy character. And you have technician, and assuming the supports are here. So this ult was big, and now I want to see unicorns thriving on this. Like, let's take a different color for the unicorns. Like going in here, finishing up these guys here first, then turn your attention towards this part of the team here. So that's a huge
Alright.
ult.
Nice.
Get you on bridge.
He has no
I
dash.
have no boosters. One.
Again, cleanup. Good job from Eons.
Mercy running mid.
Again, I'm not sure this was planned out, so that was good game sense from Eons. Again, I'm not what I think. I'm not hearing from this team. I'm not hearing the ult tracking from the team. I'm not hearing, the information. I'm not hearing information all around. I'm not hearing the plans being made from unicorns. The state of the fight is changing all the time. The state of the game changes all the time, and I don't know if the unicorns are adapting to it as much as they could.
I need to get sound barrier going out.
They just res him on bridge.
Resting on bridge. Okay, he has no deflect.
I just gave him vision. Careful.
Like example, Riders is close to ultimate. This is not being talked about. Exceed is close to ultimate. How are you going to use it? Like, What is the thought process? Are you going to use it on Leo aggressively? Take the fight aggressively and take the fight here, or are you gonna use it to save a tank when the tank is really low, aka when they're pushing? Or are you gonna use it on Eons if he's carrying really hard? So again, think these things have to be thought about every single fight. Even if you have one ultimate, even if you have five ultimates, you have to think about what you want to do after every fight.
I need to get sound barrier. I haven't been doing a lot of work.
Watch out. Hellbig.
Genji in the alleyway still. Yep. He's
Okay.
really trying to farm his ult up.
Anti not being called on salty
We
all.
might
Go
have-
with Genji,
Go with Genji.
Hellbig.
Huge pick.
Alright, we gotta put some pressure on point.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we're seeing some.
I have barrier.
watch out.
for-
Right.
Right side, right side, right side.
He
You
wants
guys,
us
Widow,
to- he wants
top,
us-
behind.
Let's take a look back. What happened?
he
You
wants
guys,
he
you
wants
guys,
us to-
Widow,
he wants
top.
Right side,
Again, again, the Winston is playing Winston hard. But again mentioned earlier, he has no possible targets to dive into because let's take an image back and tell why. Okay, let's clear the drawings. So this is Stomperland's territory. Again, lack of open space, all tightly bunched together as they should be, because and if Leo dives in this part of in this part, or even if the Diva backs him up, it's suicide. This is in the range of all these characters, and they can effectively peel for the backline. So he's being he's which is why which raises the earlier point that 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 the unicorns are being forced into bad engages because of dive, the composition, and because where the payload is right now, where the payload goal is for Stomperland.
Hellbig.
Alright, we gotta put some pressure on point.
Yeah, but we're
Okay.
seeing.
Unfortunately, the dive is not really good comp for this.
I have barrier.
Watch out.
for-
Right.
right side, right side.
Draco invests the boosters into what? I don't know why he invested boosters.
he
You
wants
guys,
us to-
Widow,
he wants
top, behind.
Widow top behind?
I'm-
How did he end up there? How did Sensuk end up there? Let me see when was the last time he died. When was the last time Sensuk died? Okay, right here.
Where's he running with?
Where is Sensuk? Sensuk spawns in.
I need to get sound barrier going out.
Don't see him
Did you try
anywhere.
some on bridge?
Resting on bridge. Okay, he has no deflect.
I just gave him vision. Careful.
Sorry.
I need to get sound barrier. I haven't been doing a lot of work.
Watch out.
I don't see him anywhere.
Hellbig.
Genji in the alleyway still. Yep.
Oh, I
He's
see.
really trying to farm his-
I saw his tracer, the Widow tracer shot. He was right here at this moment. So, I'm assuming Sensik went through this building and took a huge flank around there, trying to get sightlines.
Result up.
He might have-
Go with Genji. Go with Genji.
Hellbig.
Alright, we gotta put some pressure on point.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we're seeing some.
I have barrier.
Watch out.
for-
Right.
Right side, right side.
Invest
You
boosters.
guys, Widow,
he wants
top, behind.
Widow top behind. What? What made Leo have? How did Leo lose almost more than half of his health? His armor gets taken out. Is this from the Widow?
You guys, Widow,
he wants
top, behind.
That's a huge chunk of damage. That's like 150, I think. I think it has to be the Widow. Because these both tanks are not looking towards Leo over here. Okay, technician is, but the Diva doesn't have enough burst to take off 150 HP of his health in an instant. So I'm using Widow's a Widow.
Wait, I'm gonna.
Okay, so Leo jumps from here to here, and Technician who was here, the Technician sees this, notices Leo was low, order call was being made from Stomp on Land, and I think he quickly dies here.
I can pressure.
I need help.
Quickly dies.
Shit.
So right here. Right here. So why would that happen? He was in a bad position. Yes, he was playing Winston Hart. Yes, but was that really his fault in a personal level? Not really. It was because the composition did not help him. The composition is holding him back in a way, holding the team back a
Jeez,
little bit.
You can probably booper if you
Right
want.
side.
Okay, so I believe it's a 5v5, and I think Riders is making his way back. So
Stop behind. Just focus forward. Focus forward. Right's behind for 5 seconds.
There's a Widow on right side on Mega.
On point.
this is just chaos.
I'm not there.
Mercy's on me.
I'd be for it.
Wow, he just ulted me. Nice.
Point.
There's a Widow on right side on Mega.
For 5 seconds.
Yeah, the respawn advantage came in from Sopolan. You see the Hanzo and Leo's still making their way back. You see a fight devolving here. You see you see another fight devolving here. The Divas here. It's all chaos right now.
There's a Widow on right side on Mega.
On point. I'm not there.
Mercy's on me.
I'd be for it.
Wow, he just ulted me. Nice.
I'm coming back.
Okay.
We about it. Warm up. So we gotta talk about what we're doing here.
Okay. So to sum up, what happened that did not go well for the Unicorns? One. Okay, that's like one. Information where alls, cooldowns, picks, irrelevant information, etc. So not going in when there's a pick, not communicating what enemies cooldowns has been used, not communicating your own cooldowns for your team to know, not communicating what ults you guys have, what ults they have. These are all little things that come under info. 2, planning. Using step 1. So from the info you gathered from earlier, what are you going to do with it? Like, okay, so if you notice Diva's cooldown, Diva used the boosters. What does that tell you? That means he has no escape. That means he is a viable target to be focused down. If Diva is hacked, viable target to focus down. If Brigida is caught out of position and invested resources towards Vic 7 in that instance, could have been taken out. Or if you have a grab combo, you need to plan how's that gonna go. If they have ultimates and you cannot block them, how are you gonna deal with it? Again, these things have to be talked about. 3, adapting. So what I mean by this is recognizing when things are and adapting. So one thing that comes to thing is recognizing. I guess too much writing, but okay. Recognizing. What do I want to recognize? A. What is preventing your team? What is hurting your team? What is hurting your team? Like why are you not being as effective as you guys should be? B. Who is the carry on that particular map? So what is hurting your team in the first round of attack? Your Pharah could not. Your Pharah could not. They did not have the space to operate in. Your Pharah could not pummel into the Stomperland's front five, as we call it. We call it the front five because of Sensec, the Widowmaker on Stomperland. So the carry in that map was the one that really was preventing was Sensec on the Widowmaker. So knowing this, using these two make switches make switches and deal with these guys accordingly. Like if for instance the widow is the carry and your widow cannot take the widow out, you have to switch to something like a Genji or Tracer or Sombra to get on the widow, or even go even changing whole comp to dive at that moment and going for the Widowmaker exclusively, or example if who else if the Sombra is a carry, for example. That's okay, a flanker like a Tracer or a Genji. You could go Brigida, you could go McCree. All these switches have to be made like per map against every single team you guys play against, not just this team. So that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for your time, and yeah, see you guys later.